Skopje, capital of Macedonia and located in the valley of the Vardar River, with a dramatic history that spans many thousands of years. It forms the junction of two trading routes in Southeast Europe that unites both Western and Eastern civilization. A stone bridge separates the Muslim section from the Christian Orthodox section. This city of religion and trade is surrounded by much natural beauty. Kasia, the Old Town, and also known as the Lower Town north of the river, has witnessed several battles, earthquakes and floods. The Old Bazaar is an important meeting place. Some of the streets of the market are roofed. Today, goods are traded here, but in former times, some of them were also made here too. The goods were produced on all floors. But one thing remains the same. The tiny shops are laid out according to the goods they sell. There is also an alley of goldsmiths, a popular area. Fresh fruit and vegetables are much in demand, and the merchants proudly present their goods according to Ottoman tradition, a feast for the eye. A visit to the market is always a fascinating adventure. But when the muezzin calls for prayer, the people stop what they're doing and begin to pray. The male faithful line up side by side and kneel down to praise God and the Prophet. Beyond the bazaar is the splendid Al-Sa Jamia, also known as the colourful mosque. It's surrounded by a stone wall and a cemetery. Within one of the tombs lies the remains of city treasurer Ishak Beg. Between the mosques is the last surviving monastery in the center of Skopje, Sveti Spas, with a fine church and a wooden bell tower. Both monastery and church were built before the time of the Ottomans, and eventually they had to be reduced in size because no other religious building was allowed to be larger than a mosque. In the monastery's courtyard, a stone sarcophagus contains the remains of revolution leader Gotche Delchev. It contains only his body, as his head was exhibited on the city's famous stone bridge following his execution. In the 18th and 19th centuries, the church was refurbished. 3 of the country's most famous woodcarvers worked for 6 years on its splendid interior. The work on the 10-meter wide and 6-meter high icon is thought to have been one of the greatest achievements of that time, a unique work of art. Artistically carved out of the wood of a walnut tree in 2 rows adorned with gold, it features scenes of both the New and Old Testaments. 'The Makaria Frikovsky and his brothers Marko and Peter Filipkovsky worked every day on this masterpiece. Typical of that time is that in addition to biblical scenes, it also features scenes of everyday life. In an adjoining museum, images on the theme of freedom fighting are exhibited. Gorgi Delchev, along with 74 followers, was overrun by 400 Ottoman soldiers. A popular destination for the people of Skopje is the Matka Valley, a deep canyon that contains the Treska River that was dammed to become a lake. Cragged mountain peaks frame the river valley, and deep down are numerous old churches and caves hidden within the rock. This sheltered natural habitat is good for bathing, climbing, hiking, fishing, and boat trips. Viewed from the boat, the river valley looks even more immense, more primeval, and also more romantic. A natural paradise close to the city. Once hardly anyone visited this wild landscape because there was little to do. Today, visitors love to penetrate deep into the canyon by boat, to as far as a landing stage. A hole in a rock wall leads to a famous natural wonder that was nominated for the new Seven Wonders. The cave system of Vrelo. It contains two caves, one above the water level and one below, plus a small lake. Exploration of the cave system is still underway, but it's estimated that it's more than 500 meters deep. Back in Skopje, we visit the newly built Upper Town, the modern district of this Macedonian metropolis. Most of the government offices, shopping centres and modern hotels are to be found in the southern part of the city. The train station clock is a reminder of the devastating earthquake that last occurred in the city. A simple monument of Mother Teresa stands in front of her house that, although modern, is also very much in Macedonian style. The historic stone bridge of Kameni Most spans the river Vardar and unites two city districts and also the Muslim world with that of the Christian Orthodox. The massive 214-metre-long stone bridge was built in the late 15th century under the rule of Sultan Mehmed II, the Conqueror. There's also a square and modern shopping streets. Here, the city shows its international face. Kala, an Ottoman fortress, surveys Skopje and the Vardar Valley. Prehistoric settlements that date back to 3500 BC were discovered on this hill. Nightlife flourishes here. especially in the southern part of the city. Skopje is once again a city of various cultures. NATO and other international organizations are represented here, strategically placed in what is a sensitive part of the world. The city's people try to forget the last flood and the horrendous earthquake of the 26th of July 1963. They take pride in the many monuments that feature the famous people who have conquered, defended, and rebuilt the city. They have all made their mark in the city's architecture, culture, and people. The city has survived, and its people have retained their courage. Skopje has become a symbol of fraternity and solidarity, a prospering city at the southeastern end of the world.
I believe that gym tolerance is when people from different color participate in some sport.
When people from different nationalities are in the same team.
I believe that gym tolerance is when disabled people play with non-disabled people.
People from different nationalities play in Macedonian teams, so there is gym tolerance.
Well, I think there is, but we can still improve.
No, I don't think there is.
I think that there is gym tolerance in Macedonia, but it's not enough. It's a multilingual and multicultural country, and because of this, gym tolerance must be promoted.
I think there is. Everyone is taking part in the sports events equally.